Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Karina Sokola, the last reporter for the topic Project Procurement. Progress payments and change management. These payments made before the end of the project and based on the progress of the work are called progress payments. For example, the contract might develop a payment schedule that pays for the design of the curriculum, then the development of the curriculum, and then a final payment is made when the curriculum is completed and accepted. In this case, there would be three payments made. There is a defined amount of work to be accomplished, a time frame for accomplishing that work, and the quality standard the work must achieve before the contractor is paid for the work. How these changes will be managed during the life of the project is typically documented in the contract. Capturing these changes early, documenting what changed and how the change impacted the contract, and developing a change order are important to maintaining the progress of the project. Conflict among team members may arise when changes are not documented or when the team cannot agree on the change. Developing and implementing an effective change management process for contractors and key suppliers will minimize this conflict and the potential negative effect on the project. Procurement process will be dictated by company standards, often centralized by controls from the Accounts Payable Division of Accounting. The procurement process includes the preparation and processing of a demand as well as the end receipt and approval of payment. After the decision has been made to purchase goods and outsource services, the procurement team develops a plan that includes the following. Each of these steps is also included in the project master schedule. The time involved in the procurement cycle can influence the scheduling of critical activities, including the decision to self-perform the work or contract the work to others. The delivery dates for equipment and materials and the work completion dates for contracted works are placed on the project schedule. Any procurement activities that create a project delay or fall on the project critical path may require special attention. Key factor in selecting the contract approach is determining which party will take the most risk. The team determines the level of risk that will be managed by the project and what risks will be transferred to the contractor. Typically, the project management team wants to manage the project risk, but in some cases, contractors have more expertise or control that enable them to better manage the risk associated with the contracted work. Soliciting bids notify potential bidders of an opportunity to bid on a project. It can be an invitation to bid, request of proposals, request for quotations, and a request for sealed bids. On smaller, less complex projects, the parent company typically has a list of suppliers and vendors that have successfully provided goods and services in the past, and the project has access to the performance record of companies on that list. On unique projects, where no supplier lists exist, the project team develops a list of potential suppliers and then qualifies them to become eligible to bid on project work. Eligible bidders are placed on the bidders list and provided with a schedule of when work on the project will be put out for bid. The eligibility of a supplier is determined by the ability to perform. Ability to perform the work includes the ability to meet quality specifications and the project schedule. During times when economic activity is high in a region, many suppliers become busy and stretch their resources. The project team investigates the potential suppliers before they are included on the bidders list to ensure that they have the capacity and track record to meet deadlines. The potential supplier must also be financially stable to be included on the bidders list. First, DNB proprietary rankings and predictive creditworthiness scores. Next, public filings including suits, liens, judgments, and UCC or Uniform Commercial Code, filing standardized financial disclosure documents that conform to the Uniform Commercial Code. Third, company financial statements and history. RFQ focuses on price. The type of materials or service is well defined and can be obtained from several sources. The bidder that can meet the project quality and schedule requirements usually wins the contract by quoting the lowest price. Request for proposal. The process of developing a proposal is response to an RFP can be very expensive for the bidder, and the project team should not issue an RFP to a company that is not eligible to win the bid. Evaluating bid. In most cases, the lowest total price will win the contract. The total price will include the costs of goods or services and any shipping or delivery costs, the value of any warranties and any additional services that adds value to the projects. Project team evaluating the proposal must include people with the expertise to understand the technical aspects of the various proposal options and the value of each proposal to the project. On more complex projects, the administrative part of the proposal is evaluated and scored by one team, and the technical aspect of the proposal is evaluated by another team. The project team combines the two scores to determine the best proposal for the project. Awarding the contract. After the project team has selected the bidder that provides the best value for the project, complex projects required a detailed discussion of the goals, the potential barriers to accomplishing those goals, the project schedule and critical dates, and the processes for resolving conflicts and improving work processes. Managing the contracts. The contract type determines the level of effort and the skills needed to manage the contract. The manager of vendor contracts ensure that the contractors bidding on the work have the skills and capacity to accomplish the work according to the project schedule and tracks the vendor's performance against the project needs. Supplying support and direction when needed, the manager of partnering arrangements develops alignment around common goal and work processes. Each of these approaches requires different skills and various degrees of effort. Items that take a long time to acquire. Long lead items. Examples of long lead items are equipment that is designed and built specifically for the project, curriculum that is created for training a new workforce, and a customized bioreactor for a biotech project. These items might require weeks, months, or years to develop and complete. The project team identifies long lead items early to begin the procurement activities as soon as possible because those procured through the normal procurement cycle may cause delays in the projects. After the contract is awarded, typically there are also one or two contractors that do not perform to project expectations. Some project managers will refer to the contract and use it to attempt to persuade the contractor to improve performance or be penalized. Other projects managers will explore with the contractor creative ways to improve performance and meet project requirements. The contract management allows for both approaches to deal with non-performing contractors, and the project team must assess what method is likely to work in each situation. Logistics expediting. The logistics for the project can be managed by the project team or can be included in the RFP or RFQ. On international projects, materials may be imported and the procurement teams manage the customs process. On smaller projects, the logistical function is often provided by the parent company. On larger projects, these activities are typically contracted to companies that specialize in logistical services. On larger, more complex projects, the procurement team will include logistical expertise. Project work often depends on materials, so the delivery of materials influences the scheduling of the project, and often some materials are needed earlier than normal procurement practices would deliver. On long lead items, the project schedule is included in the contracting plans, and contractors must explain how they will support the project schedule. Large complex projects, the contract can often place a priority on the fabrication of the equipment and delivery of the equipment to meet the project schedule. The project logistics team can also explore ways of shortening the transportation time. For example, a project in Argentina flew some critical equipment from Sweden rather than transport the equipment by ship to save several weeks in transit. The logistic costs were higher, but the overall value of the project was greater. Thanks for listening.